Welcome to another episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Chicky Telly. What's up, man?
What's up, pal? How you doing?
How you doing, bro?
Doing good. It's been a crazy few months, but you know that a couple other people know that, but not too many of your listeners know that. But mod on, it's been a crazy few months.
Yeah, I know, man. Congratulations on the grandkids.
Thank you. That means more to me than anything. Believe me, all this other bullshit, do what you got to do. Me, put me away, lock me up. It's okay. At the end of the day, as long as my daughters and my grandkids are good, anything else can be dealt with.
Definitely. So there's a couple people I want to give a shout out to before we start,
Absolutely,
man.
absolutely.
So Liz Capola, she wasn't feeling good. So I hope you feel better, Liz. Um David Icavetti, I want to give a shout out to him. Joey Seifert,
Wait a minute. Wait,
James.
is that this guy David? Is this a guy from Miami with his father?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, David, your father was a true gentleman. Well, we got a lot of good friends down in New England that were with him, and I believe they were in Danbury together. A lot of good guys from our area with him in Danbury. A serious guy, a real guy. Nothing but respect for him. And please, whatever you're doing now, live on for your dad. Your dad was a straight out gentleman and respected by everybody, especially down here in New England. So I just wanted to say that little piece. I know people that knew him personally.
Yeah. And I want to say James Forney and happy birthday to Ken Street TV, man. Today's his birthday. And so I want to talk about when you were involved in the life, man, and you got picked up on that charge, the bookmaking charge.
Yep.
I want to talk about like what were you involved with at that time, like before you got arrested, and can you explain like when the cops came for you to
Oh,
arrest
yeah,
you?
forget it. You're figuring back in. You got to understand something. Back in this happened back in 2005. I took the pinch in 2005, but I was good from I started back in roughly 1999 to 2000. And I grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's New England, and it falls under the Genovese crime family. If anybody knows about New England, it's you got the Boston faction, which is the Patriarchas out of Providence, and they got Boston, and you got some Gambinos in Connecticut, but Springfield and Albany, New York, and some of Buffalo, they were mostly Genovese. They were run by Springfield, my area, and Albany, New York, and Hartford, Connecticut, New Haven, in Stamford. It was run a lot by Genovese family. This is back in the day. Now I'm going. I don't know about now. Like I said, I'm not in the up to dated version, but back in the day, it was big. And we grew up guys in my area like Big No Sam Kafari. These guys were serious guys. These guys were from the 1930s, 40s, 50s. These guys were at the in upstate New York. When they had that big meeting when everybody got pinched.
Yeah.
In the Appalachians, these guys were there. Frank Skyball Schiavelli. These guys were guys that I grew up under. And my mentor was Adolfo Big Al Bruno, who was the boss of the Genovese family for our area. I was with him for approximately maybe 20, 25 years. Serious guy. He was my mentor, straight out gentleman. Um, and like I
When
said,
was he made? When was Adolfo made?
I'm not sure. Sometime in the 70s. It was in the 70s. Sometime in the 70s. He was from Italy, and he was from let me think in Italy, not Queen of Jays. He was from there's two big factions from Italy and Springfield. It's the Queen of Jays and it's a Napolitan, and there's another one. Oh shit, I'm trying to think. The Brugianese, and he was a Brugianese from Italy, from Brugianese, and he was a Brugianese Italian. He came to Springfield as a kid, and they had a bunch of they called them greenhorns that came over that were serious guys that got made with the Genovese family out of Springfield, but they were tied in with New York, and I grew
That's
up
Big
under this
Nose
guy.
Sam. That's Big
Big
Nose
Nose Sam
Sam.
was a serious guy. You got the pictures up? Oh yeah, there he is. That was like the Vito Genovese of our area for that era. He was a serious guy. Him and Skyball Schiavelli, if you could pull him up, Frank Skyball Schiavelli. I mean, these guys dated like Marilyn Monroe. They had Liza Minnelli. I mean, these guys were like the Las Vegas show guys of New York for our area, New England. And anybody who knows that will tell you that they're passed away now. God rest their soul. They were the real deal. There was not like a lot of these guys today that played a role. These guys were the real deal, the Vito Genoveses of our area, and good guys, really good guys. And we grew up in an era where, you know, a lot of the nephews, cousins, grandsons of these guys were around, and we grew up with them. We went to school since childhood. We were good friends with them, and it is what it is. We grew up around these guys, and I'm not going to get into the military story, but as a kid out of high school, I went into the military, and I was hurt in a terrorist attack, and I got retired out of the military. I came home as a young 20-something-year-old kid with no direction, and I retired out of the military, and I had no direction. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to go from the beginning of college. And, I went back to my roots in the south end of Springfield, which is like South Philly. And a lot of people like Scott Bernstein and a lot of these reporters, New York Daily News, they kind of put Springfield, Mass, New England as South Philly. That's how they compare them to as far as the family and the guys around. They kind of compare them to us all the time. And, Joey Merlino and that crew, which, they compare it to us all the time. So make a long story short, it's going to be a long story either way, but to make it a little bit shorter, I grew up as a teenager under Bruno, and serious guys were around. Like I said, at the time, Big No Sam was the boss. Sky Balls was his underboss, which is Francisco Chabelli. Sky Balls, these guys are legends. And they had a crew of probably about 5 or 6, 7 made guys, a ton of associates. And Bruno took to me, who was at the time, he was an up-and-comer. He was a soldier with the Genovese family, and he was an up-and-comer. And eventually he becomes the boss of our area. And I was with him for probably 25 years. But I was more the sports guy. I was more the money maker, the racketeer. I was really good at sports. He picked up on me really quick. And I just knew how to pick games. I knew how to, figure out baseball. I knew the pitchers. If you could pick the pitchers, if you knew who the pitchers were and what they were dealing with in life and the pitchers, you could pick baseball games. Football, it's a whole nother method. Basketball, another method. Hockey, another method. So I got them down pretty good. And for 20, 25 years, I made millions and millions. And I had a great reputation with Bruno and a lot of the kids I grew up with since kids. I was
was your aspirations to get made?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Here's the funny story. Bruno was Bruno, but a guy who I grew up with since a little kid took over for Bruno, and he took over for Bruno. And I'm not going to get into too much of his story. He's all over the internet. His name is Bingy, Anthony Arlotta. And he grew up with me since we were 6, 7 years old, playing soccer, baseball, everything. So he grows up and he ends up, I'm not going to get too much into the story. You can go on Google and Google his name, figure it out for yourself. But he
was a captain, right?
He's a boss. He ends up the boss. So we grew up together, and
but wasn't he a captain first, and
then he was he was a captain, in Springfield, and he took over for Bruno when Bruno ends up getting murdered in November of 2003. I believe it November 22nd, 2003, night before his birthday. He ends up getting murdered in Our Lady of Mar Carmel Social Club in Springfield, our social club, 10:30 at night after a Sunday night card games. He ends up getting murdered.
Can you see this picture right here?
What's that? Let me see. Yeah, there's Bruno. On the bottom right there on the left is Anthony Arlotta. On the right, he's a friend of mine, and both of them on the right, I won't say, they're good friends. They're guys I know, and I just want to talk about them. But on the left is Bruno on the top, and on the bottom left is Anthony Arlotta. And the other pictures I won't talk about. In the middle is Bruno's truck, brand new Suburban, on the night he was murdered with a yellow tape on.
What was he getting into the car, going to leave?
No, he was getting in the car after a 10:30 night game. He was getting into the driver's seat. There was another kid getting into the passenger seat, which is still around, and I know I won't mention his name. But he was in the passenger seat, and a kid came up with a hood on, and he said, "Hey, Bruno," and Bruno was the kind of guy that would say hello to everybody. And Bruno put his hand up to shake. The guy put his hand. Bruno put his hand up to shake the guy's hand, and the guy would have had a hood on. And Bruno would say hello to everybody. And the guy came up with a 45 and shot Bruno 3 or 4 times in the chest and once in the cheek, and went right through his cheek. And then I think it was a total of 5 shots, couple in the groin, couple in the chest, and once in the face. And now unfortunately, there's Bruno right there in the middle. That was after he beat a case in Springfield, a big case. He beat it, and
Do you
his lawyers
remember
on the
that?
left,
Do you do you rem-
Vinny Bongiorni, which was a big time lawyer in New England, is on the left with his head down. So
were
yeah.
you
So,
were you around when he was catching cases?
oh come on, I was running the sports book for him the whole time he was in jail, getting out, going back and forth. I mean, I was eating at his house every Sunday afternoon. His wife would cook. He had 5 sons. You know,
So what would be your daily routine when you would be with these guys? Like, what would be your daily routine? You wake up in the morning. What would you do with
oh,
them?
we'll wake up in the morning. I do my own thing in the morning. Nobody bothers you in the morning. We go down the YMCA in Springfield as a workout place, and they had a steam room. They had lockers they had a place called the Valley Athletic Club, and we had our own lockers. Bruno had a locker. We all had our lockers. We go work out 4:30 in the afternoon. We take a steam, play racquetball, work out. This is back in our 20s. Bruno was in great shape, and a bunch of the guys would go down there. We'd work out. We'd dress up. We'd go. We dress up 6, 7 o'clock. We'd be out at the club or the restaurant by 7 o'clock. Beautiful clothes. We'd have beautiful dinners. Bruno had a restaurant in Springfield called. It started off as and ended up as Caramia, which was one of the best Italian restaurants around. We used to go there. We had certain nights we went there. Then he had the Irish crew. They had an Irish crew, our tough guys that would go there on certain nights. We would go there on certain nights. Wednesday night, Bruno was at his gumat's house, his girlfriend's house, which, he had a girlfriend and he had another, wife and kids. And I used to go meet him at his girlfriend's house on Wednesday night. And certain nights of the week we're at the restaurant. Sunday was always at his house with his wife and 5 kids, 5 sons. And we'd eat dinner. His wife would cook for us, and he wanted to know what he had on the games. Chicky, what do we got on this game? What do we got on that game? He wanted to know. He was very smart with that. And I'd go do the phone. And back then, nowadays it's easy. They call the Costa Rican number an 800 number. You pay so much a guy. And the bottom line is, you pay, whatever, $10, $12, $20 a guy, and they do everything. You give the guy the 800 number. He calls Costa Rica. He bets all week, and at the end of the week, you call up, and you get the figures, and you pay and collect. Back when I was doing it, was the old school days. We had guys on the phone. I ran the main office. We had probably, I don't know, maybe 30 guys under me that were taking action. So probably altogether, I was responsible for about 200-300 guys a day. And I was the main bookmaker for Bruno, and I we didn't edge off. We took everything, and all the guys would give me their action. So basically, we were the edge off. So every guy around you know all of New England would edge off to me, and I would keep it all, keep track of everything. This is going for 20, 25 years. And I was under the
Where would you
radar.
guys keep the money? Would you keep it in a certain spot?
Yeah, you know what I mean. They had different guys. They would have guys that paid and collect. They had guys like me that did the office. So I never tied in with the money. They would have me that paid that did all the figures. I would give it to another guy who did the paying and collecting. They had another guy that kept the money. That nobody knew, because obviously you're not going to tell people where you got your money. And it was a
Sandman and Damien said, "What's up, man?"
Oh, my boys, Damien and Sandman, incredible. We got great things going. Damien wrote an incredible, Hungry Hill with Brian Hoyle. Sandman, he did the Flanagans with us. Kid's a fucking straight out animal. Probably we laugh, but it's not a joke. Probably 750, 800 confirmed knockouts. The kid's a beast,
I believe
gentleman.
it.
Yeah, he's a gentleman, but that's Damien introduced me to him. Damien introduced me to a lot of good guys, and we become lifelong friends because of Damien. Brian Hoyle's another good friend of us. I told you about him. And we did that movie in November, Pep, the Willie Pep story in Hartford, near you, Staxx.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the producing company APN Way is started by Leonardo DiCaprio, who put up, I guess he, put up all the stuff for that movie, which I'm in, Brian Hoyle's in, and Damien would have been in it too. And Damien was incredible. Damien showed up that morning, and he would have got a leading role because the kid's an incredible actor, and so is Sandman if he ever gets out there and gets to show his stuff. But the bottom line is, Damien showed up that morning and he tested positive for COVID.
Oh
So they like
man.
within 10 minutes of his shot of a lifetime, they're like, "You got to leave the building," and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So me and Brian were there, and we both got a part, and then we went from being extras, just that we're gonna show our picture, like in the video or whatever of them fighting, so we end up getting main roles where we talked. We got talking roles, which is huge in that. So I got a talking role, and then Brian got a talking role. So Damien, poor Damien left with COVID. We ended up with talking roles, and we were in the show with James Matteo, who's a great actor. He was in Band of Brothers. He was in Hook with Robin Williams. The kid's an incredible actor. We were with a kid named Jay Gioni, who's been in a ton of stuff. I mean, real serious guys. And like I said, the company producing the movie is Leonardo DiCaprio is part of the company. So you got an A-list actor that's running the show. So it's going to be incredible. It should be out sometime in late 2022. And like I said, you're going to see me, as clear as day on the main film with James Matteo, the lead role that played Pep the boxer, and you're going to
Yeah.
see Brian Hoyle in the same scene as me, as the guy that leads the fighters out to the ring and says, "Come on, gentlemen, let's go." So it's going to be incredible. So we got so many good things going. And Hungry Hill, Damien wrote it with Brian Hoyle. We just got funded for a lot of money, and I don't want to get into the specifics. Damien will get into that with you, but we just got funded by a huge guy who's got a big company behind him. So that in itself is going to be huge. I just hope I don't. I mean, March 17th, I get sentenced to go away. It's usually about 30 days after that. So they're going to try to work with me as far as either before or when I get out, working with me to make it happen. But it's hard, you know what I mean? Because when people put up money, they they want things done on their timeline. And I understand that, as much as I love these guys and they love me, the bottom line is if I don't make the cut, they're gonna have to move on. And then that's the way that business works. I don't hold no grudge. It's just the way it is. So, like I said, March 17th, I get sentenced, which the case we'll get into later. And it's probably like 40 days after that, I'll get sentenced. I mean, I know I'll get sentenced and I'll be able to, I'm a self-report.
Yeah, you
So,
get stay of execution, so you get a little bit
yeah,
of time.
yeah,
Yeah.
30, 40 days, I'll get all my shit in order and then I'll report. They usually send you back to where you usually went, which was in Pennsylvania, Weimar, Pennsylvania. I was in the USP Canaan Federal Penitentiary in Weimar, Pennsylvania, about 7 hours from Springfield. They usually put you back there. From what I hear, they usually put you back where you were. But because of some underlying medical conditions, they might put me in Worcester, outside of Worcester, Mass, Ayers, Mass. I believe it's Fort Devens, and they have a medical unit there. But like I said, wherever they put me, I don't care where they put me. I've been in the worst places. I've been in the best places. I'll make the best of it. I'll go in there. I'll lose weight. I'll work out. I'll come out. You've been in the can before, Bill. So
Yeah.
you come out like a fucking movie star. You work out. You get healthy, and you
Yeah,
come out looking better.
if you put the work in, man, but if you
Well, you got
don't
to
and you
put.
sit there eat honey
Well,
buns.
if you do that, shame on you, because this is the opportunity where. Why wouldn't you
Yeah.
put the work in? Like I said, I went in before, and I lost in a short amount of time. I lost, me, I gain weight like crazy or I lose weight like crazy.
Don't
I
you
went in
have a book,
before.
a workout book or something like that?
No, I just do my own thing. I eat a lot. I don't eat no carbs. I eat a lot of, me. Um, Thank God I had a good amount of people putting commissary on my books. So I used to order like a ton of tuna, a lot of turkey. I cut out all carbs. I used to walk 6, 7 miles a day. I do the weights. So when I came out, I lost 160 pounds. I'm a big guy. I lost 160 pounds in short amount of time when I was in last time. And I swear to God, you're gonna laugh. I ended up writing a letter to my judge, and it was funny because my lawyer pointed out me the other day. He goes, "You're the only." I wrote a letter to my judge thanking him for putting me in jail because he saved my life. because in my mid-30s, I'm ready for a heart attack.
Oh
How
my
heavy I was,
God.
and I lost a ton of weight. And I wrote a letter to my judge, and my judge told reporters in Springfield that write organized crime reports for
Yeah.
Springfield that imagine this fucking guy. He didn't say fuck, but he goes, imagine this guy wrote me a letter thanking me for putting him in jail because I saved his life. So I'm like, they want you to go in there and be like, oh, I'm sad. I got to do time. What do I do? Meanwhile, I lose 100 pounds, 150 pounds. I write the judge and say, thank you for putting me away. You saved my life. It's like with me, they didn't get no fucking, they didn't get no, oh, poor me, poor me. I said,
Yeah.
thank you. And I lost a ton of weight. It came out looking great. And I'll do the same thing now. It is what it is. If you're going to go in there like a crybaby bitch, then you're going to be a crybaby. You go in there, you work out, you get in with some good people, you eat healthy, and you clear your head. And that's how you look at it. If you go in there like a pussy, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, and all this bullshit like a lot of people do, then you're destined for
I gotta
failure.
call my girl. I gotta call my girl. Where's the phone?
Oh,
Where's the
you know how
phone?
many times? Oh, she didn't answer the phone. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. She was supposed to be there,
Yeah.
buddy. Wake the fuck up.
Have you ever been there though? Have you ever been there
Where?
yourself?
Listen to
Like,
me. I used to torture guys, but it's
ah,
7 o'clock. Chicky, she was supposed to be there 6:45. She didn't answer. Now me, not knowing the truth, but I used to ball bust them. Buddy, wake up. She's fucking your friend. They used to go crazy. Don't
yeah,
say that. I'd bust balls, but I didn't
but
wish it on nobody. But no, when I was in jail, I was married. And I gotta say, I had a great wife. She was there. I call her once a day. And my two daughters, I called every morning. That was my biggest call in the morning. I'd call my two little daughters. At the time, they were 10 and 12. And I would call them every morning at 6:30 before they went to school and talk to them. That was my biggest call. And then my wife, I'd call once at night during the night just to make sure that she was okay. But I didn't really go crazy on the phone. I had a ton of minutes. I really, because when you're on the phone talking all the time, it just brings you back home, and you don't want that. You just
yeah,
want to go in there, do your time, get in the time frame of that, and that's it. When you're on the phone all the time, these guys lose their mind. Oh, what's your wife doing? What's your mother doing? Where's
you're
this
like
one?
slamming the phone down.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't gotta lie to you.
Oh
Banging the
man.
phone. They don't talk to you for an hour, 2 hours. Just shut up. It ain't even worth it. So
Yeah.
how many Dear John letters I heard of? Oh, I can't wait no more. Fucking guys on suicide watch. Come on, wake the fuck up, buddy.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You
Over
know
a
that.
girl.
Come on, over a girl.
Yeah.
Or you know what the funniest part is? And I never knew this existed. I'm not. And Damien is going to be laughing right now if he's listening. I never knew this existed. There's girls and guys out there, and if you guys go on TV on WE Network, there's a show called Love After Lockup. And I
Yeah.
never experienced this in my life until lately, where there's girls out there that are obsessed with writing guys in fucking prison. And
Yeah.
and Stax, you did a show with this Melendez, okay?
Mhm.
He's married. A girl married him in prison that fell in love with him after killing
Yeah.
his parents. Okay. Well, I never listen to me. In my wildest
Yeah. Your
fucking
camera's
dreams.
on, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry, pal.
Camera.
Hold on.
No, no, don't.
No, it's all right. Hold on. Let me say it. Hold on. Fucking
Um.
camera. The judge said, "Don't put the camera." So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Not my fault.
yeah, no shit. It wasn't my fault. Somebody put it on. So, anyways, make
Yeah.
a long story short, these fucking these fucking girls get involved with these prisoners, right? And it's like the more time they're doing, they're more turned on. And then there's guys that get involved with the girl prisoners, right?
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
sending them money and they're sending them commissary. And it's like, oh my God. So the girls are like in love, the guys are in love. And then if you watch this show, Love After Lockup, man, please, whoever's listening to this show, please try this show. It's on We Network. Go on YouTube. It's called Love After Lockup. You will piss your pants. So
I've seen it, man. I've
during
seen it.
prison, they all are in love. But then the prisoners get out and they go back to these, not like a lot of these people give them great opportunities. They have great houses and they have great cars. They buy them cars and they give them a life that if they did the right thing, it would be wonderful. And these prisoners go right back to their drugs,
A
their
lot of them
craziness,
do. A lot of them go
and they
right
fuck
back.
these great opportunities up, and I'm pissing my pants. And I'm not gonna get into too much, but last summer, and this is an exclusive, and Damien's gonna be pissing his pants right now. This is an exclusive. Last summer, I'm on Instagram, and I meet a girl, And matter of fact, she went through Damien, and she goes, "Oh, I got a crush on one of your friends." And he goes, "Who?" And it's only me, him, and this kid Brian Hoyle, which he's with us in the shows. He writ Hungry Hill with Damien. So
Yeah.
she's a doctor, and she got 2 kids, and she lives in Maryland. I don't want to give her away too much. So she calls up me. She sets up with Damien. Oh my God, I really got an attraction for Chicky. So I'm laughing. I go, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't get back to the girl. So I get back to the girl within a couple weeks. She's the sweetheart of a girl of all girls. Right now, last year I'm going through a bad time. I pick up the indictment. My mother dies. My daughter's getting married. So a lot of money's being, weddings. I didn't want to get into it. A ton of money for weddings, ton of money for things I'm trying to help people with. My mother dies, funeral. It's just a bad, bad year. Okay. So I meet this girl, and sweetheart of a girl, you're my king, you're my man. She's putting in my head all this crazy shit. So it's like, unfortunately, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm in a bad state in my life. I fall for it, right?
Yeah.
So I invite the girl to my daughter's wedding. Now, picture this girl's a doctor, 2 kids, lives in Maryland, a beautiful condo, her whole life's together. I'm like, what the fuck is this broad doing with me? I'm an ex-street guy. I'm going to jail. I'm bad mouthing myself. She's like, I forgive you. I don't care about what you are before you're with me. Bah, 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 bah. So she's building me up, right? And I'm like, I'm falling for it. Sink like, and what do they call it? Sink
Sink, line, and
and
hook,
hooker.
line, and sinker, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So I bring her to my daughter's wedding. I get her down here from
Oh
Maryland. I go to the
man.
wedding. It's in Waterbury, Connecticut, near you, Staxx, right? Fucking, it's called Area, a fancy place where you have weddings, right? Great time. She comes back 3 or 4 times after that, throughout to December. So I'm not going to mention nothing else, but I'm just going to tell you. So where it ends up is like I see her losing attraction a little bit every day from calling me, "You're my king. I love you." All this craziness, which shame on me. I'm falling for it. See, like you said, that what do you call it? Sink line, whatever.
Hook, line, and
Yeah,
sinker, bro.
fucking keep
Hook,
saying
line,
it,
and
you
sinker.
bastard. I can't think of it because I get crazy, right? But anyways, Damien's laughing his balls off right now. I know he is if he's listening. I know he'll comment right now, pissing his pants. But anyways, so meanwhile, she's calling Damien. She's calling my other friend Brian. Oh my God, he restored my faith in men. Where did you find him? Right? And me like a jerk off, right? I'm falling more and more. So finally, I'm not going to get into too much, but so finally, I see things are starting to change, and I'm like, "What happened? You were calling me every day. Now you call me twice a week. What happened?" So, make a long story short, she says to me, "Well, I heard you might have to go to jail." I go, "Yeah, but it's not going to be long. It might be a year or less." So she goes, "Yeah." I go, "But don't worry, that's nothing, because it's only going to be, my case. My case. It's a stupid thing. It might be a year. No big deal. I'll come out. I'll work out." Like, so I guess she's attracted to guys in jail that are doing big time. Now she might have thought I was going for 20 years. I don't know what the fuck this nut job thought, right? So so she finds out somebody, I'm not going to get into it, but somebody near me is doing a lot of time. And she's like, "Oh, I wrote him and blah, 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 blah. And I sent money." And I said, "Wow, that's honorable. I didn't know anything." It's like me knowing you, Staxx, and a girl goes, "Do you mind if I send Staxx some money? I feel bad for him. He's in jail." I'm going to say, "Yes, beautiful. Thank you." Because you want your boy to have money, right?
Hey, feel free out there if you guys want to send me some
Yeah,
money.
yeah. What I'm just saying
Yeah,
is,
feel free.
yeah, it's of course, right? So,
Yeah.
long story short, she says to me, "Well," I says, "Listen, honey, I don't know if the things ain't going the right way, the way you were. I don't know what I did. I didn't do nothing." But I go, "Listen, maybe we should take a little break from each other." And I kind of break up a little bit. I go, "Maybe we should take a little break." And she
Yeah.
goes, "Well, I'm glad we did because I kind of fell in love for another guy I knew very good friend of mine. Another guy," she goes, "I fell in love with him. Now this guy's facing 20 years in prison." She goes, "I fell in love with him." I start laughing. What am I gonna do? Argue? I start laughing because obviously she's a fucking nut job. Okay, she's falling on somebody she ain't gonna see for 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to screw him up because she's sending him money. She's writing him every day. She's making him feel like a movie star. So I'm not going to fuck him up. So I go, "Oh, good for you. Good for you." And I played it off. I say, "Great. Take care." And that was the end of it. But I'm just saying, I didn't know these kind of people existed out there where there's women that fall in love with guys they're never going to see. Maybe 10, 20 years they will see them. But it's like that fantasy bullshit where they want to live their life, but they want to have this guy in jail that they know is not going to cheat because he's in jail. And, come on, any guy in jail that's facing a ton of time, what are they going to do, Staxx? Honey, I love you. I'll be the guy of your dreams.
Yeah.
Because, come on, you're sending them money. You know what I'm saying?
Where
So,
you been? What are you doing? They'll give you all
yeah,
the attention in the world. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Where were you? I called you this morning. You didn't answer. The girl feels
Yeah.
like a movie star.
They'll do
But
all that shit for
and
you.
come on, I've been around guys in jail the whole time I did federal prison the first time.
Yeah.
Every other guy on the phone was like, "Where were you?" And they're like, the girls are loving them. And I'm like, back then I said, "This don't. You're not telling me
No,
this."
the more they're like that, the more they like it.
It's crazy.
Weird.
Then when you told me about Kyle Menendez, this murderer bastard that killed his family, that the girls are in love with him and they married him. You know what I'm saying? It's
All
like,
the fucking TikToks and all this shit.
oh
Got
my
fans
God.
all over the place.
So make a long story short,
Crazy.
laugh out loud. I laugh now. And I laugh. I look back and I go, what the fuck? I laugh. But I didn't know these kind of people existed. Are you fucking kidding me? I thought it was a joke. So, anyways,
not
I
a
don't know
joke, bro.
where we got caught up in this bullshit. But Damien must be pissing his pants because, Damien laughs. He said, you got to tell that story. But, anyways, it is what it is. Shame on me. But that's where that is. So, where were we
So
at?
when you got busted for the bookmaking pinch,
Yep,
right?
yep.
What was it like when they came to lock you up?
Okay.
Like what was that day like?
So I'm married at the time. I'll never forget it. It's a Sunday morning, and the the Super Bowl season. I mean, sorry, it's right about Super Bowl season. It's the playoff season where they have 2 games on Sunday, 2 games on Saturday, and then the Super Bowl is coming up within a couple of weeks. So it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday day at like 11 in the morning, and I get the lines. I got all the paperwork ready, and I'm at my house in a nice little suburb of Springfield, Massachusetts, in New England. I'm married. My ex-wife is out bringing back Christmas gifts. And I was always, I used to do it out of my house. So I used to tell her, go shopping, blah, 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 give her money, go to dinner with your friends. I don't want her there when I'm doing it. So she would leave for the day, Christmas shopping, whatever. So she was returning Christmas presents. It was 2 weeks after Christmas. It was like in January, beginning of January. And it was a playoff season. So I'm in the house. It's like 11 o'clock, quarter 11. I got to go on the phone for 11:30. It's quarter of 11. I'm taking a shower. I throw on a sweatsuit. I'm upstairs. So it's like 11:15. Never forget it. I got about 3,500 cash on me. And when I take a shower, I leave it. I take the 3,500, and for some reason, I put it under the pillow in my bedroom upstairs. I just put it under the pillow. I didn't keep it in my pants. Took a shower, threw on a sweatsuit. So it's like 11:20 in the morning on a Sunday during playoffs. New England Patriots was playing at 1 o'clock, and there was another, I think it was 12 o'clock or 12:30, and then 3:30. It was 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, and then the Super Bowl was in a couple weeks after that. So I'm upstairs. The phone's fucking ringing at 10 after 11. I don't pay attention to 11:30. That's when I get the lines and I go on.
Your phone sounds crazy, man.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it sounds weird. Like you hit something.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it right. Hold on. Let me do what I gotta do.
Sounds like it's underwater or some shit.
Okay. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like 11:15. I get out of the shower, I throw on a sweatsuit. All of a sudden on my front door, and tell me if it goes out, and then I'll do what I got to do in case the phone goes out. So it's 11:15 in the morning. All of a sudden I'm upstairs getting, throwing on my clothes. I got everything ready to go. All of a sudden I hear bang, 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 bang. Like, it's not your wife. It's not your kids trying to come home.
That cop knock.
It's a different bang.
Yeah.
So I got no shirt on. I got a pair of sweats and sneakers. I come down the stairs and I look out my front door. And my front door was one of these big wooden doors with a couple little windows in the small windows in the top. So I see like 20 guys in the window. One guy here, like within a little window, you see like 20 guys. It looks like a whole army's trying to come in, right? So
they got the helmets on and shit.
No helmets, just regular guys. So I go, oh boy, I know what's happening. So bang, 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 bang. Now they see me looking at them on the bottom step of the stairs. I can't run up. I can't run down. They see me. But boom, the door comes off the hinges. They hit it with that big iron thing.
Yeah. The ram, the
The
battering
ram.
ram
They
thing.
hit the ram. The door comes flying off. All the hinges, right? All the glass breaks. So they come running. There's like 15 of them. You think they're coming for fucking John Gotti Sr., right? The way they come in, right? So
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I can't believe they're coming in for me like this, right?
Yeah.
So I can't even get up another stair. It's like, get on the fucking ground. They got guns drawn. They're coming in for El Chapo. It's crazy, right? So
Yeah.
there had to be 12 FBI cars in my yard. And the way they park, they want to make it known. They park sideways, crossways, block off streets. They want to make a big scene, right? So they come in the house. They throw me on the ground. They feel me, make sure I got nothing on me, and they put me on the couch. They handcuff me, put me on the couch. This is the first pinch. The second pinch, forget about it. Oh, there was actually like 3 or 4, but this was the first one. But the first one, so they come in, and a guy comes in. Guy comes in the door, and his name is Dolan. I think it's Timothy Dolan. He was the head prosecutor for the federal. He's a prosecutor for feds, and he comes
Yeah.
in. He's got a green jacket on that says FBI or New England Prosecutor's Office. He's there, and it's
Yeah.
literally like a week after Christmas. He's there with a green jacket. So he comes up to me, "What's up, Chicky? I don't know from all the while. Yeah, what's up?" So, anyways, they cuff me. They put me on the couch. They go through the house. They ransack the house. Is anything in the house we should know about? No. Blah blah blah. So I'm there an hour. They take me out. They put me in the FBI car and state troopers, organized crime task force. They put me in the car. And when I come out to the car, they got me handcuffed, right? And I'm in a sweatsuit. They let me put my sweatshirt on. And as I come out, it's been like 2 hours that they've been there. Now, keep in mind, all the neighbors are out in the neighborhood looking at what's going on because they see
Yeah.
like 20 cars in my driveway, lights going, doors open. So it's a big, stupid scene. So I come out of the house, and it's all the neighbors that know me from talking to them, from mowing their lawn, being friendly with them. Here I
Oh,
come. Yeah. So I'm embarrassed, but what are you going to do?
yeah.
But then not only that, but on the street, there's all 22, 40, all the main cameras. They got the big boom set up on vans. They're filming. They're filming live. These people.
Oh, they got the fucking, they
Oh,
got the news out
listen
there
to
and
me.
shit. Like,
If you
oh,
if you
we
could
got him.
listen, if you could ever, I don't know how you do it, but if you could get to channel Western Mass News, they got it out there. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. You think they were picking up?
Is it a video? Because
Oh,
I'll find
it's
it.
all video. It's all video that they had video that was on the news. Back then, they
All
didn't
right.
have the internet because it was 2005. So they didn't have too much internet. It was
I'll
all
try to
like,
find it.
yeah. Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to find it, but it's WWLP, WGGB, all these news channels out of Springfield. And it was, I don't know if you punch up my name and put illegal, gambling ring. But I don't know if you can find it. Like I said, a long time ago. But make a long story short, so they take me out, and they bring me right to the state police building in Springfield. And now it's changed, but I'm sorry, the U.S. Federal building, the U.S. Federal building in Main Street. Now it's on State Street. They changed it. So they put me in there, and I go into the cell, and there's a kid already sitting in the cell laughing when I come in, and it's the kid that you showed the picture of below Bruno, the kid who became the boss later, Anthony Arlotta. It's him, who at the time he's neck and neck with Bruno as being the boss of Springfield. That's the kid I told you I grew up with.
Oh, he's in the
So
cell when you go when they
he's
go
in
to
the
put you
cell
in there.
already. They got him first. They got me second. Okay. Now Bruno was in the indictment with us as a co-defendant, but this was in 2004. I'm sorry, 2004-5. He had got killed in 2003. So obviously he's not a co-defendant. He was murdered, but he was in the paperwork to be a co-defendant if he was still alive. So this kid Arlotta, and another kid, Jimmy Nilary, who was a bookmaker with us. So they didn't have Jimmy. He was in Boston, but they had me and Arlotta. So they bring us into court. Now keep in mind, at time this kid Arlotta's striving to be the boss. He's right under
Yeah.
Bruno. Come out years later, Arlotta gets the order from New York, and he's part of the hit team that kills Bruno. Okay. And then, I'm not going to get into
Where
his
but
story, but
but
that,
you're out and you don't know anything about the hit team coming to
no,
kill
that don't come
Bruno.
out. That don't come out till later. That don't come out till
Yeah,
4 years later. I'm just telling you now, so you know where it was.
yeah.
No, that don't come out till 4 or 5 years later. Bruno, he becomes the boss for a good 4 years before they pick him up for Bruno's murder. So, fast forward,
How would he treat you when you would be out there? Like
who's that?
after Bruno got killed, how was he with you?
Well, you got to understand, the kid was my fucking best friend since we were 5, 6 years old. So that's when you had brought the question up. Were you ever? First of all, I was on record with Bruno. Bruno goes to New York. With, you call it on record, and this is just
Yeah.
because this is the way it is. I'm not trying to make up something to brag. Bruno had me on record with New York. So what they do is they put you on record as an associate. They go, listen, Chicky's with me. He's running my shit. Ba ba ba. He's with me. That's how they do it. Now, Aralata becomes boss after Bruno, and Aralata was my friend since childhood. So he was going to put me on record as far as when. Now, keep in mind, Aralata was made through the boss Artie Nigro. Okay, who Artie Nigro was the boss of the Genovese family out of the Bronx. He was the acting boss at the time. He was the one that made Aralata. This is in court papers. This ain't me saying it. This
Do you
is
know what year did he get made?
Aralata got made. I think it was August of 2003, a couple months before Bruno gets murdered. He gets made, and he gets made through New York. He don't get made through Springfield, which makes it 100 times better. He gets made through the bosses in New York. I mean, this is public. This is public record. This ain't like me just saying it, giving secrets. This was public record. So, make a long story short, he gets made through New York. So now he answers directly to the boss, which is unheard of. It's incredible. That's a huge thing. So now, uh, Aralata gets permission from New York that he can start making guys. You understand? He can start making guys in Springfield. You understand?
Yeah.
Or wherever. Whoever he chooses, he's the boss. He start making guys. So, I heard through the grapevine, I don't know for sure, but I would have been one of them guys on the list. Not because I was a tough guy killer, because I was never that type. I was more of a racketeer. I could run the book in, and they need every kind of guy. Listen, if you needed a guy to go beat up somebody or go cripple somebody, I wasn't the guy. If you needed somebody to go run a sports book and stay on top of everything and make a ton of money, I was the guy. I'm just saying.
They
That's
had
the way,
guys they had
different
guys
guys
to
for
do
different.
different things. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how it worked. And I'll be honest with you. And everybody knows me. They'll say, "Oh, Chicky was the funniest guy." I had a lot of fun, laugh, and everything, but I had a different purpose. That's all. And then there was guys. Don't get me wrong. There was guys that were straight out fucking.
This is Artie, right?
What's that? Yep,
This
there's
is
Artie. Yep,
Artie.
Artie Nigro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away in federal prison. Yep, that's Artie. He's a good guy from the Bronx. He was the acting boss.
I guess
And
his son. This is Artie's son. I guess
yeah, no,
he got busted for.
that's Artie. That's Artie right there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's Artie. Look just like him. I don't know if it's son. It looks just like Artie.
Damn,
But
your phone
anyways,
sounds crazy again.
yeah. Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's weird. It sounds weird,
Yeah, I
man.
don't know. All right. So, anyways, I got the computer. But anyways, so fast forward. I'm not going to get into too much, but fast forward down the road. Aralata gets convicted. Aralata goes to court and gets convicted of the murder, being part of the murder for Bruno, and then he cooperates. It's in public knowledge. He cooperates with the government and puts Artie Nigro away for life and a couple other people. So he goes and does 9 years and
Was
gets
there
out.
a lot of tension after Bruno got murdered? Was there a lot of tension with you and
No, because
everyone up there?
nobody
Or
knew
no?
it. Nobody knew who did it. Like, in other words, we were lost who did it either. We didn't know. We how the fuck do we know? I didn't know who did it. I didn't know. There was no talk. This guy did it. Everything was hush hush.
Yeah.
So then when it came out in the paper back in like 2009 or 10, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" We couldn't believe it. We just couldn't believe it. And
Yeah.
we had heard rumors, but nobody believed it. But make a long story short, so he went away to jail, and so that's a whole nother story in its own. But so yeah, so when you said was I on record, yeah, I would have been on record with Aralata. He would have definitely done that for me. There's no doubt, but he never got that far because when he got the permission to start doing things like that, his time was only a couple years, and then he was picked up. So
Yeah, but I'm surprised if I'm surprised he didn't do it. Like that would have been his first thing to do, bro.
well, no, I mean, there was different obstacles that he had to go through. I mean, there was different obstacles, but no, you're right. But he was in and out of jail for a long time. He did a lot of time, the kid. I got to he did do times, 3 years here, 2 years there, 3 years there. So a lot of times he could have done it. He was in jail. He couldn't do it. But that's neither here or there. So anyways, let me get ahead of myself. So then Bruno gets killed, and it changes. The whole landscape changes, and that's it. That's the way it is. So then, fast forward to where you want to go with this now. Fast forward to the latest charge, or what do you want to do?
What? So when you're in prison, what are some of the people you were around when you were in
Oh,
prison?
okay. So make a long story short, they put me at U.S. Now I'm a straight bookmaking charge, no violence, which anybody that knows that, you can end up at camp. You can end up at a camp in a federal prison because there's no violence. So you could be at a camp. You ain't going to be in a low or a medium because there's no violence, and that's you. So I was a matter of fact, you can go back, and my lawyer said this in my latest case. I was the last one in New England to be in New England. I was the last case since 2005 to be tried and convicted and sentenced to a federal prison for a straight bookmaking pinch with no violence. Me, I was the last one. And my lawyer brought that up in my latest case as far as to tell the judge, this doesn't happen. He was convicted and put to federal prison for a nonviolent for gambling case, which essentially all over the country
This is
it's
legal now
legal. Even
everywhere.
in
Like it's
Connecticut, even in
crazy.
Connecticut, the only place it ain't legal is guess where I live, Massachusetts. It's
Yeah,
still
of
not legal,
course.
but it is what it is. That's my luck. So my lawyer brought that up. So I got an
Of course.
incredible lawyer, Dan Hagan and Dan Kelly. They're like the big OC, organized crime lawyers of the state. They're great in New England. They've been around forever. Dan Kelly is an incredible lawyer, and Dan Hagan is my guy. He's my lawyer, and the kid, basically saved me. The kid I have no more word. I have nothing but good to say about the kid, and he's not only my lawyer, he's my dear friend who I respect and cherish, with my life, and I have, and I did, and he's given it back to me. So bottom line is not to go there, but so oh yeah, so when I was in prison, they sent me my bunk wasn't available at USP Canaan, which is literally, you can ask anybody about USP Canaan in Weimar, Pennsylvania. It's gladiator school. I was there for just a straight bookmaking beef, no violence, and they put me into a fucking gladiator school.
Yeah, with a bunch of killers and shit.
Killer,
You're like,
stabbing
what
people.
the
But
fuck?
when I went there, listen, I try to tell people how you are on the street is how you are in jail. If you're a punk on the street, you're a punk in jail. If you're a big mouth on the street, you're a big mouth in jail. If you're a funny guy in the street and you bust balls and you make people laugh, Staxx, you know that, in jail.
Yeah.
How you are in the street, you are in there. If you're a pussy on the street or a punk on the street, you're going to get punked in jail. That's how it is. If you're a quiet guy and just mind your business and work out, then that's going to happen in the can. So, make a long story. My bed wasn't available at USP Canaan, so I get there. I was a self-report. For some reason, don't ask me how, they had no beds available. They end up taking me in a van to MCC Manhattan, Southern District in Manhattan, which is one of the biggest jails on the East Coast for serious guys.
Yeah,
Sammy
it's
Ivano
like a
was there.
set it's like a cesspool for
John Gotti
gangsters.
Sr. was there. Every serious, the Grim Reaper, they all were there. This is the serious joint of all. There's MCC Manhattan and MCC Brooklyn. MCC Brooklyn is where you're going before you go to a federal penitentiary. MCC Manhattan is usually where you go when you're fighting a case. And all the heavy hitters were there. When I was there, I was on 11 South. I became friendly with a guy named Vinny Basciano, who was the acting boss. At the time, I didn't know who he was, but he was the acting boss of the Bonanno family. Vinny Basciano. Fucking good guy, 44 years old, tan, good head of hair, straight out gentleman. And you
What?
can
So
go
you guys spent some time together
We
in
were
there?
together for 2 months. He was my bunkmate next to me for
Oh,
2 months. We shared honey bunnies at night, Diet Pepsi. We ate chicken and tunas in the bag. Stax, honey
yeah,
bunnies at night with the coffee, playing pinochle, right?
yeah.
And I was with a array of guys that your fucking head would spin. I was with Alex Rudai, the Albanians, all the Albanians from the Bronx who were the bosses. They were the real Albanians. Not like these piece of shit Albanians that do YouTube channels that pretend they're somebody. These guys were the real. These guys were the real deal. Nikki Nails, Angelo Diapetro, Lenny Coletti, Alex Rudai, serious guys. They loved me. We every night bust balls, eat dinner. Now you're with them guys. You're in the pod with them guys, so you know how it is. You get in with these guys. So I'll never forget it. This guy from New York comes over to you, and once you get in there, they know who you are. You got paperwork, but a lot of times in feds you don't carry paperwork no more. But they know Chigatelli was a bookmaker for this bullshit. They said Genovese, whatever. Who gives a fuck what they said? But you
but
get in there.
so when if they say that in they say that in the newspaper, oh, he's with the Genovese family, blah blah. When you get to prison, do they go with what they said in the newspaper, or do they go?
Well, you gotta understand. The only reason they say it in the newspaper is because from the FBI surveillance or the FBI this or that. They might have you on a wiretap. They might have somebody talking about you. They might have where I come from, the city I come from. They say, oh, they're Genovese. He's working for Bruno. Bruno's a boss. He's working for Bruno. He's a Genovese guy. It's just a categorization. That's all it is. But plus, when you go to federal prison, Vinny Basciano
just smiling in the cage, man.
Look at him. See that picture right there?
Yeah,
right there. Look at a tan with the hands up in the air like he's in Bahamas. He's in a dog. Listen to me. He's in a dog kennel. You know what that is right there?
Yeah,
that's in ADX, Colorado, the worst prison in the country in Florence, Colorado. ADX. That's MCC Manhattan right there.
Yeah,
right there. That's where I was. 11 South.
On the inside.
There it is. Right. But
that looks like Hartford Correctional. Man.
Yeah. On the roof of that building, go back to the building you showed, MCC Manhattan. Right there. On the roof is the where you walk and where you play basketball. On the roof of that building is where you play basketball and everything. And that right there, some heavy fucking hitters in there. So I was only there for 2 months. So I'll never forget it. So I'm with Vinny Basciano. I'll tell you the story. So I didn't know who he was because I wasn't into this. Who's this? Who's acting boss? Who's that? At the time, I didn't know. But Joe Mazzina was the boss of the Bonanno family. I guess on the roof that I just showed you, on the roof of MCC.
I'm about to show you right now. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, on the roof of the MCC Manhattan. You'll see it's got like a wire over the top. And
it's like a mesh.
There it is. On the roof. See the mesh over there? Under that is the basketball court and the track under top. So we used to go up there twice a week for rec. So Joe Mazzina, who was a serious heavy hitter, was the boss of the Bonanno family, wore a wire. He was the boss. He wore a wire on Vinny Basciano, who was his captain in the Bonanno family, and said, whatever he said, like, hey, remember you killed this guy? Remember you killed that guy? Now, Vinny, that's his mentor. So Vinny's talking, oh, yeah, whatever he's saying. Meanwhile, Joe Mazzina's recording it for the FBI. He becomes an FBI informant on his protege, Vinny Basciano, and puts him away for double life.
Wow.
Okay. So I didn't know none of this. And I didn't know how it worked that day. I just know I met a guy who was a great guy who treated me good. So some guy comes up to me from the Lucchese family and he's like, Chicky, why does this guy Vinny like you so much? I go, I ain't got a fucking clue. So he goes, you know who it is? I go, no, he's a nice guy. He's a gentleman. We share Diet Pepsis. We eat Honey Bunnies together. He goes, that's the boss. I go, what fucking boss? The boss of who? He goes, that's Vinny Basciano, Vinny Gorgeous, the boss of the Bonanno family. I said, it don't matter to me. He's a good guy. So we become very close in 2 months. And believe me, Staxx, when you're with somebody 24/7 for 2 months, even 2 months is a huge time. You're with them, their family, their kids, their wife. You pretty much know everything's going on. You know what I'm saying, right, Staxx?
Yeah, of course.
So now 2 months goes by. I get a Monday morning. I'll never forget. I get up like 7 a.m. The guards say, Chigatelli, pack it up. You're going. Okay. Which I knew I was going. It just when a bed opened up. So I go, Vinny, I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. So Vinny goes, don't get. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but Vinny's like, Chicky, don't get excited. You might not go for 2 or 3 days. They don't tell you you're leaving now and you go. It might be, they wanted me to pack up and give them my shit, and I stay there. Well, he was right. I didn't leave for like 48 hours. I was giving everything away. I didn't have nothing for 2 days to eat. No clothes, nothing. So
yeah, that's what happens, man.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know how it worked. So So now, so now I got no food, nothing. So it's Monday night. I'm starving. I eat their little meal they give me, and I go, Vinny, I'm starving. He goes, come fucking eat. He's giving me tuna fish. I go, I feel embarrassed. He goes, oh, big shot. You want to give all your food away? I told you you'd be here for 48 hours. I said, I didn't know. So I'm eating with them. We're laughing. So sure enough, Wednesday morning, 48 hours later, they wake me up 5:30 in the morning. They go, let's go. Okay. So I get up off the bed 5:30. No, they get out there early in the morning. You know how they do it. You go in the what do they call it? The
holding tank.
Port. What do they call it? Scally Port.
The AP room.
Whatever it is. No. They put you in that thing where you can't go between. I think a Sally Port. They put you in a Sally Port.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the Sally Port. So Vinny's sleeping right next to me. I go, Vinny, I gotta go. He goes, what do you mean? I go, they're oh, okay. He goes, I'm gonna walk me out. He goes, I'll walk you out. I go, okay, Vin. He walks me out. So he walks me out. So now he yells in the dorm. He yells to another part of the dorm to Alex Rudai, who at the time they were gonna make according to the papers, New York paper, they were gonna make him the sixth family. They were the Albanians. They were gonna make him the sixth family. Alex Rudai. They called them the corporation. That's what they called him. They were looking to make them as a sixth family, the other five families. That's how serious these Albanians were. So they were from the Bronx, big in the Bronx. So Vinny Basciano yells to Alex, Chicky's leaving. He gets up with his hair up into the fucking moon, and they walk me out. These two serious guys walk me out. So we're walking out to the Sally Port, and the guards are waiting for me, and they're ready to cuff me up, and I got my orange jumpsuit on. They're going to cuff me up and put the things on my ankles. You know how they do it when you move, anytime there's a movement. And, they put the belly chain on. And so I'm getting ready to get, as they're belly chaining me and my ankles and all the shit they do, Vinny says to me, as God is my judge, I couldn't make this. And he goes, Chicky, I wish I knew you on the street. We could have had a lot of fun. I would have pissed my pants. And I go, Vinny, not for nothing. I'm doing a short little bid for bookmaking. You're facing 2 death penalty cases, because at the time he was facing 2 death penalty cases. I go, you're facing 2 death penalty cases. And I go, when Alex, he just got convicted. He got 387 months, which is like 37, 38 years in prison. I said, I'm glad I didn't know you guys on the street. And here's Vinny. Vinny starts laughing and goes, you're fucking right. Get out of here. And they both hugged me. True fucking gentlemen. True gentlemen. And I got in there. They took me. They opened the door. I went to Sally Port, and they shut the door. And that was the end. And I never seen them again. And now I'm seeing on the internet, all these pictures of them guys, and they're doing great. And Alex Rudai, just he'll be out in a few years. He just beat like 15 years of his sentence.
Look at him, he's smiling in every picture.
Look at him. Now this picture here, he's a little skinny. He's a little too skinny, but that's him. Look at him, the tan. Look at the tan. Now, if you look behind him, he's in a cell block. And this fucking guy, every picture. You can pull up any picture in the internet of him on in person. It looks like he's in the fucking Bahamas waving from a hotel. Look at him, fucking serious. What a good guy, a gentleman. It's a shame. It's a shame what they did to this poor bastard. But anyways,
his own boss, guy, right?
His own boss, and then not only his own boss, Dominic Ciccali, which was his best friend in the whole world. Never mind the boss, his best friend since childhood turned over on him. So the bottom line is, at the end of the day, let's stop fooling each other. This is where that life gets you. It's going to be either you're going to get killed, either you're going to jail for life, or your best friends are putting you in jail for life, or
they're going to plot your murder.
Okay, or let's face the fact. I mean, I'm a nobody. I'm just telling you my story. But what happens? You're going to jail for life. You're getting murdered. Or what's the next big thing? You're going to be a fucking rat, and you're going to get a YouTube channel and make a ton of money. So, and you ain't got a fucking mirror in your house. So you tell me, what do you want to do? So if you see the writing on the wall, why don't you just get out ahead of time and say, you know what? I'm all set. Thank you. It was a great run. But now it's time to go make a movie, or it's time to go fucking work at Home Depot. Come on.
Go tell your story, man.
Tell your story, but don't tell your story as a fucking rat. Tell your story as a guy who saw the writing on the wall and said, you know what? I salute. I wish you all the best. Make a ton of money. I'm out. Bye-bye. Okay? So who gets more respect? That's all I'm saying. Maybe I don't. I don't know. But I'm just trying to say to myself, listen, I seen what's going on in this world. Whoever in 2022 is wanting to be a gangster is out of their fucking mind.
I want you to set one thing straight, Chicky, for me.
No, I will.
There's a lot of bullshit
I'm a straight
on
shooter.
the internet right here. So a lot of people there was articles and all this because you
Just tell
hang
me.
out with John Gotti Jr. So there's
Oh yeah,
articles.
I'll set it fucking
Oh,
straight as you could ever say.
it's the Latin
I say
Kings are
this.
connected to La Cosa
Listen, okay,
Nostra and all
please.
this
Oh, this is a
bullshit.
very easy one to set straight. The New York Daily News, okay, the New York Daily News, which is insulting because they're supposed to be this reputable fucking paper, tied me with John Gotti Jr. and my nephew that he came to Springfield, Latin King this, Latin King that. He was a Latin. Listen to me. It's a fucking embarrassment. First of all, John Gotti Jr. only came to Springfield a couple of times, and it was nothing to do with Latin Kings. It was to watch his daughter at American International College play basketball, which I was there with Damien and Brian Hoyle. We watched him with his wife and his daughter watch his daughter play basketball. And he came another time to orchestrate a fight for his son that fights MMA. Okay. He's never been to the Mark Harmel Club. He's never been involved with the Latin Kings. He's never, listen, once he got out of that life, he was out of that life. That's it. And he told us from years ago, listen, I got no, he said to me straight out, Chicky, I got no, I am not a guy who goes against criminals. I root for the fucking bandit to rob the bank and get away. This is what he said. But he said, if you're going to be around that craziness, just tell me, and I don't want to be around you. He said it straight out from the get-go. I don't want to be around anybody who's involved with that life. There's nothing wrong with that life. I root for the bandits, but it is what it is. Now,
Hey, Roger Sullivan, get in the bathroom.
right. No, but here's well, the bottom line is here's a guy that went and did his time 7-8 years in Raybrook with my friend Brian Hoyle. They were together, and then don't listen to all this bullshit here on the internet. Bottom line is he beat four trials, $8 million in lawyer fees. He faced 2 death penalty cases and 2 life in prison lights out cases. He beat them all, not by rigging the jury, not by paying the jury off, by stone cold evidence that they didn't have about him and shitty witnesses who I'm not going to mention names, but the number one witness is all over the internet now. He's got chalk shows. He's supposedly a big shot. He lied through the whole case, and even
Pinocchio, right? Pinocchio.
Even the government will tell you. Even the witnesses will tell you, and everyone else, they've never seen a bigger liar in history of this earth to talk about anything. Never mind John Jr. because John beat the trial because of him, because of this fucking guy. But I'm not even going to give him the sanctity to mention his name. But it is what it is, and I'll probably get backlash from this, but I really don't give a fuck. These are the facts. So I'm going to tell you straight out between us, I'm honored. I'm honored to know John Jr. He changed his life. The fucking guy, he's got 6 kids. He's got 19, I believe it's 19 godchildren, 13 times best man. He goes anywhere he wants that I've ever seen. Nothing but respect, and even real guys love him to this day. But he's not in that life no more. And you got to give a guy like that credit. He got out at the highest level of his fucking game. That's it. And he don't want nothing to do with that. He wants to be a good father, a manager to his son, the fighter, and make movies and everything he's doing. You know what? Kudos to him. And if you go to all these guys that are in prison right now doing life, all these serious guys, Vinny Basciano, all of them, and if you said to them, if you could make a wish and beat your case and get out and never come back again, how many people you think they would say, no, I want to go to jail? They'd say the same thing. I'll get out, no problem. And as a man, though, not as a rat, get out as a man. Okay?
Yeah.
I beat the case, I'm done. They'll never go back again. Look at what's his name. I'm not saying names, I'm giving things. Look at Joey Molino. He's down in Florida, okay? Got his restaurant. They could say he's a street guy, this, that, the other. The guy beat a serious case. He was getting lights out, life in prison if he didn't beat.
They're not going to rest with you when you're at that level. They're not going to rest.
Listen, it's okay. Listen, Joey's not doing nothing. He's down running a business in Florida. He's got his wife and kids. He's doing the right thing. Let him go visit his little family in Philadelphia once in a while. He's all set. He's not doing nothing stupid. He knows. He was in the life at the top level. He's done.
You know how the government is, though. They
100%
think that you're involved.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter unless if he does the right thing like he's been doing. He got his restaurant, stays with his kids and everything. They can't do shit about you unless they're going to frame you. And nowadays, with all the lawyers and everybody knows what's going on, they can't frame you. So you know what? Good luck to Joey Molino down in Boca. He's got a beautiful restaurant.
Shout out to Joey.
Go to the fucking restaurant. Joey's a good guy, and kudos to him. Listen. He beat the case, and good for him. Let him fucking live a good life with his family, and go visit his family in Philly once in a while and have a nice little time. He's got a lot of friends around him, and I say, you know what? Good for Joey. So yeah, as far as that other Latin King thing, I already told you, it's a straight out bullshit. We already found out where it came from. I'm not even getting into that story, but it came from somebody we all knew it would come from, somebody to start trouble, and the government and FBI knew where it came from. That's why it got squashed. So listen, John's not. If John got out at the highest his level, you think he's making a lateral move to the Latin Kings? Come on, anybody hear that? They fucking laugh. Are you fucking kidding me? So I'm just saying at that point. So that's the end of that. So, anyways, I don't know where you want to go from here, but
well, I just wanted you to set the record straight, man. People are
straight, and anybody you're straight out, it's bullshit. And for them, for the New York Daily News to even run an article with John Jr., myself, and my poor nephew, who's waiting to get sentenced at the end of January, he's going to probably do 15 fucking years. He's another stand-up guy who, it is what it is. They charge you with that RICO thing. He ain't got a shot. They got no evidence on him. They have no drugs. No guns, no money, no nothing. And they hit you with that fucking RICO, and the poor kid's going to do 15 years pleading out. He's going to do 12 or 15 years, and he didn't do a fucking thing wrong. And that's a fact. Crazy. Some stool pigeon rat that was in his crew said he did this. He didn't do shit. The rat stool pigeon who got caught doing this, said he did it. Okay, and under the RICO statute,
because he has a lot of pull, and he has a lot
under the RICO statute, whoever allegedly is the boss at the time gets charged with everything. And even though my nephew never knew what the kid was doing, never kept tabs on the kid, and half the people that turned my nephew in, he didn't even meet them. If they came up to my nephew, he wouldn't even know what they look like. That's welcome to the fucking thank you. What's his name? That prick in the 80s. The fucking mayor in New York that was going to be the mayor, Giuliani. Thank you, Mr. Giuliani. You motherfucker. You made a law that you're went down in history, but the guy's in prison now because of this fucking RICO Act that can basically put a fucking housewife in jail for life because she's friends with somebody else. It's a joke.
Listen, I have a feeling that if Mr. Rudy fucks around, he's going to end up getting bagged with his own RICO Act eventually.
Who knows? Listen, listen. All these political people, they can do what they want. They can look at Trump. He lost the presidency because fucking people didn't want him to be as president. The guy was a good president. I don't give a fuck. I'm not a political guy. I don't know shit about political, but I know one thing: the country was running right when Trump was in charge. Now they got this fucking Biden. I don't know if he should be on fucking. I don't know. He should be in a fucking home with that fucking thing around his chest where he presses that. With the nurses come and help him. He don't even know what the fuck's going on. But I mean, like I said, I'm not a political guy. Who the fuck am I? But so anyways, yeah. So make a long story short, what do you want to get to the movie now? I don't know. You go on.
Man. Yeah, we could get to the movie unless you want to save it for part 2, bro.
Yeah, do part 2 because I don't know what the fuck how long we went now, but I'm out of
it's been an hour and 7 minutes, man. So.
That's a good thing. So listen, let me just sum it up. We got a lot of great things going. We got movies coming up. Damian and Brian Hoyle got Witsec. Not Witsec. I'm sorry. They got Witsec. They're in Witsec Mafia. John A. Gotti Jr.'s project with Chris Gasparosa. That's coming up. They're in that. I'm not. Because they flew out to Miami, Florida to be in it. And obviously I can't leave the state, so I couldn't be in it. So I missed out on a great opportunity, but that's okay. They represented us great. I was in PEP, the movie about the boxer in Hartford, Connecticut. And like I said, it's produced by APN Way, and Leonardo DiCaprio is the starter of that. He's the producer of the movie. So you got some big wigs.
Is he going to be there when it?
No, we did film it already, and he's involved in it, but he wasn't in the movie. He's producing it, and his company is the one putting up the money and all the stuff to get it going. So once that's goes in the theater, probably late 2022, I might be in federal prison at the time.
Yeah, I'll try to go to the red carpet, man.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Without me, you prick, I'll be in federal.
Hey, I'll film it for you, bro.
Honey bunnies, you bastard, and coffee. But that's okay. Listen,
I'll film it for you. You can eat honey bunnies and watch it.
So we're gonna be in that movie and got a talk and roll, and so Doyle got a talk and roll. And like I said, I'll talk to Brian to get you on your show. He's a guy you want on your show. Like I
Shout
said,
out to Brian
yeah,
Hoyle, man.
Brian's a good guy, and like Damien's partner in Hungry Hill, and we just got funded for Hungry Hill. So Damien and Brian, I give kudos to them. I give them a lot of respect. Their dream is coming true, and their dream is my dream, because whatever happens good for me happens for them, and whatever happens for them happens for me. So we're all together, and like I said, um, Damien wrote an incredible show, and Brian helped him, and Brian was right there with him. I added a couple of little stupid things here and there, but Damien and Brian wrote the thing. It's going to be incredible. A lot of people are going to
It
be.
is.
You're going to
It's
have the
really
fucking
good,
haters.
man.
You're going to have the haters that are out there hating. You're going to have the good people that are saying, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I got plenty of those already,
That's
bro.
all
Like,
right. Listen, remember,
just getting
haters.
started, man.
It's okay. Hey, if they're going to hate now, tell them they can hate me for a lot more, because next year your fucking head's going to come off your shoulder. So
Next year, it's this year. It's
this
gonna
year and
happen
next
this
year.
year.
No,
Oh
well,
yeah,
it depends on me, but definitely next year, this year, and next year. But Staxx, listen, thank you for having me on. You know me, I
no
come to you
problem, man.
first. I come to you first with everything. I don't give a fuck if you got 4,000 or 20 million. I come to you first. I appreciate it. I know you're doing the right thing. Don't get involved with all this back and forth bullshit. Who said what said who? Fucking
Man,
Tony Pizza living in a Walmart parking lot. Don't get involved with that bullshit. Just do
man, I don't
your
got time
thing.
for that.
Do your thing. And you got big things in Las Vegas. You can talk about it at the time, and you got good people around you, and that's all I got to say.
Oh
So
yeah,
let's do a
man.
part 2 sometime, and thank you for having me. And I hope your viewers like what we said. One thing about we're not bullshitters. We say it the way it is, and I think just by talking, this ain't a bullshit thing. It's the truth. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I'm sorry. We're doing the best we can.
Hey, man, we're doing what
But
it.
hey, check out my Instagram. If you guys have Instagram, check it out. It's official_Chicky, Chicky, Ciccatelli, CECCHETELLI. I got some funny things. I got some different crazy shit. I got some my
And
grandkids. I got movie reels. I got funny pictures. It's my crazy brain in Instagram. So when you look at this, you'll know it's me.
And make sure you check out this article about Chicky.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
pinned it. It's in the description, so you can go
Yeah, it was
check
a
out
great.
the article.
Finally, we got this little good article. I mean, all these other articles are bashing me. I got to give this woman credit, Stephanie Barry. She was, she's the organized crime reporter for our area in New England, and she was honest. She didn't kiss my ass. I didn't, expect to have her kiss her ass. She did a good article, and she just said the way it is, and that's the direction I'm going. So I got to be honest with you. She said it the way it is. I'm not kissing her ass. I don't want her to kiss mine.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you, bro.
I appreciate it. All right, brother. So part 2, thank you again. Happy New Year to everybody. Listen to Staxx. Like I said, he's doing good things, and a lot of big shows coming up. I got Vlad TV reached out to me. I'm going through my lawyer, and my lawyer's talking to this guy, David Patrick Valuetainment. That's a
Yeah,
whole
back.
other thing, but that ain't going to be for a while. But I'm just saying, we got a lot of good shows in store, and just remember, I did Staxx first.
You already know.
All right, brother.
Hey,
Thank you.
hey, they could get mad if they want. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And I'd be mad if I wasn't me either. Peace.
Ciao, baby.